Yo, Grand Rising Kings and Queens, it's your boy HL on Oak 93.5 WRLY Raleigh. You're listening to HL in the AM. As you can see, Byron looks a lot darker, but it's not Byron. Unfortunately, Byron had to step away from the show. He had to focus on college and raising his son. I can't be mad at him for that. Wish him the best. He's always going to be your boy's boy. But today, and maybe in the future, depends upon how y'all feel, we have my man's Wafeeq Zarif. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it. Wafeeq Zarif.
Zarif, how you doing, brother?
What up, what up? How you feeling?
Man, I can't call it, man. It's wet out there, man. It's been a wet weekend. It's wetter than my girl when we was watching Suicide Squad with Idris Elba in it.
Oh, so you put on the Idris Elba mask?
Man, nah, I ain't doing all that. You gotta accept me for me. Titties and all. That's what we do here.
Yeah, man.
So tell the people who Wafeeq Zarif is.
All right, Wafeeq Zarif is a comedian, journalist, and actor. So I go by comedian and journalist Wafeeq Zarif. I've been in the Raleigh area doing my thing for quite some time. I used to be a reporter with a newspaper here, News and Observer, for a while.
Word.
And and I got into doing comedy. Been doing comedy for quite some time. I'm also one quarter of the Good Old Boys radio show on the GOB radio network. So, right out the gate, let me just thank you for having me here, too, because I really appreciate the opportunity. And it's a shame what I'm about to do to Byron, because I'm about to set him up, make sure he catches a case, so he has to miss more time so I can come back out here. So, I just want to say that right now, Mr. Officer, look in the glove compartment. I'm the one that put the weight in.
Well, then that's going to put you down with him.
Oh, my God. What have I just
man,
done?
you just... Oh, that was conspiracy and everything. Yeah, nah, for real though, he will be missed. I can't cap, he will be missed, but at the same time, the show must go on. And he encouraged, gotta do what you gotta do type situation. It ain't no beef or nothing. Like, it ain't like we just had a falling out. And nah, it was just more or less, you know how like when you a man, you gotta just step up and do man stuff. And,
Right.
I can't knock him for that. Can't knock him for that, man. But yeah, his presence will be missed. But we still knock out shows and stuff like that together from time to time. We will be, But in major news, Haiti, more than 1,200 people have died and thousands more injured after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti on Sunday. Hospitals have been overwhelmed with patients and blocked roads have at times made it difficult to move medical supplies and personnel to where they need it most. The quake has also destroyed or damaged tens of thousands of homes, complicating an already difficult path to recovery. Haiti was already in a crisis before the quake, as it dealt with the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. Last month, ongoing struggles with food insecurity, political instability, and pandemic issues. On top of that, this quake was quite damaging. It wasn't as bad as the one that hit Haiti in 2010, but it was pretty terrible. Now the problem is, due to that, now they're already reeling from that. A tropical storm is expected to make landfall tonight to an already nation devastated with loss. More is coming their way. So I just ask that everybody put a prayer up for Haiti. If you believe in whoever you believe in, just pray for them. If you can help, there's hundreds of GoFundMe's on, and I think there's a Haitian chick with an OnlyFans page. So however you need to, help them out, pray for them. If you can't give them $1, give them 10 seconds of your time to ask God, to bless these people, because Haiti is one of the, to me, it's the closest third world country to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when it comes down to it, you have America right there, Haiti is right there. Everybody wants to go to the DR to vacation, and they're bordered with Haiti. You know what I mean? So like let's take a second now and just remember the people that have lost their lives, lost their homes, lost power, lost their jobs. I mean, there are so many effects that it could have been us. And we always got to remember that it could have been us. So I just wanted to say that first before I say anything else, because we got some stuff to talk about this morning. Number one, Afghanistan and the Taliban coming back, man.
That's crazy. I was just talking to somebody last night. It's like everything that we did 20 years ago was for nothing, because it's exactly 20 years ago when the United States of America first went into Afghanistan to remove the Taliban. And here they are only 20 years later, and we're right back to where we were in 2000 and 2001.
Right. And some say that the Taliban is placed there because, like, America's withdrawing their troops. And 2 weeks before we withdrew their troops, that's when they took over, which could delay America taking their troops out. Because, as you can see here, what are they going to do, come and work at McDonald's?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the main thing. When you take troops out of, you take them out of the country that they're serving in and you bring them back here, most of the time they leave the military. And when they leave the military, they have to try to find employment. Because I don't know if you remember how Vietnam vets were, but they were on the streets, homeless and all kinds of stuff when they came back from fighting in a war that, and I ain't gonna go into that. So I'm scared that the same thing would happen. So if I'm scared that that's gonna happen, what would I do? I would extend their period over there. How do you do that? You have the same people that you had blow up the Twin Towers, the same people that you had causing all kinds of ruckus, to come back. That way it gives you somebody to fight, someone to fight against. It proves that your need is still there.
Okay.
And then you can keep your soldiers there. That's just that's how I look at politics. I don't take anything for face value anymore.
Okay. Conspiracy theory of the morning.
This is a conspiracy theory of the morning because I already think 9/11 was staged, but that's a whole nother thing too. But the Taliban is taking over Afghanistan's capital city of Kabul, which means the entire country and its government are now effectively under the Taliban's control. The presidential palace is also in Taliban hands after Afghanistan's president Ashraf Ghani fled the country. That's some Donald Trump stuff right there, man. How does the president just leave the country?
He's running for his life. We're right back to 2001.
It is 2001 all over again.
Like, what was the point? I'm just really struggling to understand this. What was the whole point? I'm really conflicted right now.
Oh, man, I'm not sure. But all I can say is, like I said, like, all commercial flights is done. I'm like this. What America is now preparing for terrorist attacks on U.S. soil now that the Taliban has reemerged and resurfaced stronger than ever. America has spent the last 20 years training Afghanistan people to defend themselves against the Taliban. The Taliban took them out in a week. All those people, and the U.S. Defense Secretary has approved 1,000 more troops to move to Afghanistan, and bringing the number of arriving troops up to 6,000 versus 5,000.
Do you think that was an inside job? Because if we've been over there training these people for the last 20 years to fend for themselves and defend themselves against the Taliban, then in 2 weeks they can just get taken over like that. Leads me to believe that the people on the inside might have been opening the door. Because if you've been training for 20 years to do something, you shouldn't get run over in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're going up against the Pakistani military. I mean, these cats are wearing flip-flops and sweatpants and sporting AK-47s and running
RPGs.
Right. in your spot, it's like a teenager with Nikes on, kicking your door down and taking over. Like, yeah. Come on now.
And that's the thing. The Taliban, 50 to 60% of Taliban members are under the age of 17.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting no, that's not happening.
I mean, basically, that means your whole country got taken over by a bunch of cats wearing skinny jeans.
Exactly. Right. You're not just going to run up in Raleigh, North Carolina. You certainly won't go up in Durham with this. Somebody wearing skinny jeans and flip-flops in a throwback jersey and tell me to lay down. I'm taking over your country. That's not happening.
Yeah, the funny thing is, and this is why I ain't gonna cap, when it comes to the institution of America, there's a lot of things I don't agree with. However, as far as if I had to live in any country, there's no safer country from outside threats. Now, inside, they'll tear us up. But outside threats, there's no safer country. Because think about if someone tried to invade America, right? Let's say they got through our entire military. You still got the cats in Durham you got to get through. You still got the rednecks you got to get through. Right. You got to get through me. Because I'm not just going to lay down and let you die. I got a 9 under my bed. I'm ready to fire that thing off at somebody.
Right.
So
all of us.
So, yeah. So, like, and then you got these kids that have been playing Call of Duty their whole life. Like coming to America trying to invade America is not going to happen. It's not. You're gonna have to wipe out the whole country to invade America with a bomb or something, because you don't want to just try to step like a whole bunch of ships just start coming to port in Wilmington or something.
Right.
Y'all done seen a bad day, fam.
Nah, nobody with a Jordan Washington Wizards jersey and some
He went back to Jordan
and some penny loafers is just gonna come in. I can see if you had the '84 Bulls jersey with the cursive Chicago on it. Maybe then you could take over a McDonald's. But you're not about to take over Durham, North Carolina, wearing a Wizards throwback jersey that says Jordan on it. That's not happening.
Nah, it's not gonna happen. And the numbers are faded.
And the numbers are faded.
You ain't even get a Stitch jersey. It's one of those screen printed joints where the 2 is half gone.
Right.
Yeah. Another thing that we got going on is coronavirus cases are surging in 40 different states. Data from Johns Hopkins University shows with numbers still rising, the director of the NIH worries that U.S. could be soon reporting more than 200,000 new cases a day, a rate that hasn't been seen since the vaccines became widely available back in 2020, at the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. Meanwhile, mask mandates are still stoking political battles. People is not wanting to put their mask on. Like, let me ask you a question. Are you anti-mask or pro-mask?
I am pro-mask.
Anti-vax or pro-vax?
That I don't really have an opinion on.
You don't? Have you been vaccinated yet?
No.
Are you thinking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I got the first shot, and I am struggling to come up with the proper reasoning to go back and get the second dose. The only reason I'm even considering vaccination is because I have a sister in the hospital, and I have to be vaccinated to see her.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I trust this vaccine. To this day, I still don't know if I trust it. And it's because we've had so many, I'm trying to think of the best word. We've had so many advances in health and modern science, right? And we've had vaccines and different treatments for all sorts of illnesses. None of them has been free. Not one has been free. Polio vaccine won't free. Measles vaccine ain't free. Chickenpox vaccine ain't free. There isn't even an HIV vaccine. The HPV vaccine ain't free. Nothing is free, but all of a sudden, this vaccine is free. Not only is it free, they're offering people millions of dollars to get it. In Seattle, you got what's it called? Jabs, joints for jabs, where if you get the vaccine, they give you a joint. Like, they're
really
a joint of marijuana. Yes. There are all sorts of programs all over the world that are trying to entice people to get the vaccine. However, nothing else is free.
Yeah, well, I grew up reading about the Tuskegee Experiment and watching all types of movies and TV
Miss
shows.
Evers Boys.
Yeah.
You ever see Miss Evers Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I grew up watching all this stuff, reading about all of this, man, and I've always been skeptical about government programs in terms of health. And I feel like the movies, this is my theory, that if they're ever caught, they can say that they can say, well, it's not like we didn't warn you, because they're putting the truth out in movies. I feel like the movie is the truth, and because it's a movie, people dismiss it as just a movie.
Right.
But if I'm ever held accountable, I can say, well, I did tell you, I gave you the truth. It was in the form of a movie. It's not my fault that you just dismissed it. But I'm a little concerned about it, the vaccine too. That's why I haven't taken it yet. My mother spanked me the other day because I hadn't gotten it, because she's mad that I haven't taken it yet.
Oh yeah, my dad, he's like, boy, you better get vaccinated and stuff. And I'm thinking, like, if I wear a mask, which I keep right here in my handy dandy pocket, this right here is just as good as a vaccine, right? I mean, that's what I'm seeing, because I know people, I personally found out people that have been vaccinated have caught the virus. Now, the argument is that it makes it to the point where you won't die if you get it. Like, you won't end up hospitalized or whatever.
Yeah, Jay Williams.
Yeah.
ESPN, he has it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you're still catching the virus even with the vaccine, but I guess the vaccine is making it to the point where, like, if everybody has the vaccine, you catch it, you just move on about your life versus being hospitalized.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so convenient. Number one, I ain't never seen a vaccine created that fast.
No, never
Never in the history of my life have I seen a vaccine created that fast. And I just wonder because the thing is, I don't think it's a black or white thing. I don't think they're trying to steal our melanin. I don't think they're trying to like, sterilize black people. Because if that's the case, wouldn't it also sterilize white people and Hispanic people and Asian people? So is it just all the way around population control?
Yeah. I've been listening to a few people talk about that, and it's pretty much acceptable casualties.
Right.
And if you concentrate it in an area where you got a lot of poor people, then you don't mind them going as well.
Right.
If you had to make them sterile.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, I mean, they already have all sorts of forms of population control. The homosexual agenda is a form of population control.
Oh, you said it's an agenda. You're gonna get canceled.
I might, but I don't think it's. I mean, and I'm not saying it's an agenda as far as lifestyle. I'm saying the fact that it's being pushed towards children.
Yeah, it's definitely an agenda.
It's an agenda, and they can count. But ain't nobody up this morning. But the thing is, and this is what I mean by that: you have the right to exist no matter what your sexual orientation is. Mm-hmm. I just don't think anything should be forced, especially upon impressionable minds like children. Like, for example, if you grow up and you realize, oh, I like dudes, then go ahead, go out and like dudes. But I don't think that we should be influencing a child's mind, especially about something like sex at an early age. Yeah. Regardless of what it is. I don't think heterosexual should be pushed onto little children. But at the same time, I don't think sex should even be talked about like that. I think that's the main thing. Is like, why are we talking about who you smashing right now? We add up, like for example, we have a team meeting, and they do their little icebreaker. And like, yeah, and I'm gay and I'm proud. Okay, why are we talking about you smashing?
Well, the reason why, and this is what somebody recently told me, it's all about representation. Mm-hmm. So by having, I would say, homosexual characters, having lesbian characters, having queer characters, period, gives them another angle of representation. So if somebody is already feeling like that, they can see themselves in the product and they feel represented. So that's why I'm told that's part of why what you just described as forcing it upon kids is out there. And they would say that it's not forcing, it's just simply representing this other segment of the population.
Yeah, but at the same time, okay, so and if that's the case, I'm totally cool with that, right? But do they have to be represented? Because like homosexuality isn't like everybody's gay. You know what I mean? There are certain circles that aren't. They just happen to not be gay people. You know what I mean? Like for example, I've been watching the show Power. Not the third. Well, I've been watching the third one. Not so good, right? Second
really? The Book of Canaan?
Yeah.
It's not good?
The Book of Canaan, Tariq's story was better than Canaan's story to me.
Wow, really?
And in Tariq's story, that he had the gay guy, right? Yeah. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, they having this gay scene, and I'm like, what does this have to do with cocaine? You know what I mean? Like yeah. It's like that. It's like, if you're going to let it be natural. Let it be a natural flow of order and things. I think right now we're forcing it.
Here's my take on that. So you're right. We are forcing it. And the reason why we're forcing it is because they want to represent. They want to give people more representation, right? So in an effort to show more representation to people, we have swung the pendulum extra far in a certain way to the point where we're flat out forcing stuff that wouldn't organically happen. And that does bother me too. And I feel like that about the Me Too movement too. Yeah. I feel like that about a lot of women. I feel like that about a bunch of stuff. I just don't like imbalance. I like it to be balanced. Exactly. Let it happen for real.
Right. Exactly. I like the way you worded that, man. That's
also real quick. Are you more afraid of the coronavirus than you are STDs? Because I'm to the point where I'm thinking more about the coronavirus than I am herpes. Which should it be like that?
I mean, you married?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like, I had a chick over, and I'm like, first of all, where's your mask? And she was like, well, you're not even going to wear a condom. And I'm like, well, then, that's not the point, because the corona, last I checked, wasn't shooting that way. But if you don't get back at least 6 feet from me right now, I would feel, and it also would have hit me. I'm like, damn, I'm more shook about the coronavirus than herpes, gonorrhea, AIDS, and everything.
Yeah. Me, I don't know, man. Like that's the thing. I believe in masking. So like, I use latex masks. Well, actually non-latex masks because I have an allergy, but I strap up. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like when I put my mask on, I can walk into Publix and be feeling good about myself, knowing I'm not gonna catch nothing.
Yeah.
Same thing with throwing on a rubber. I could go into Publix
Right.
and not catch nothing.
I know a lot of cats that are hitting raw, but they're about that mask wearing though.
Yo,
you better put your mask on, but you're gonna hit this raw.
No, that's
really?
the question now. Did you ever wear your mask while beating up something?
I thought about it once, and the only reason I didn't is because she was right, and I felt like she was going to be too offended, and we don't want to offend our way out of some sex.
No.
I mean, I'd rather just get what you got than just offend my way out of it.
And women don't understand how delicate it is. You are honestly one sentence away from her putting them panties on.
Right.
Like you don't say like
right.
any real brother know. Once it starts, shut up. Because
right.
you don't know what you don't know how she's gonna react to anything you say. Because and that's my funny thing is like when she take them panties off, I don't say nothing. I don't try to jeopardize the booty. Mm-hmm. I'm not jeopardizing the booty, but I tried the mask sex once.
Really? How'd it go?
It went terrible. I was like, I'm taking this mask off, just turn over. You just breathe that way.
Social distance sex. I like that.
Yeah, social distancing sex. Basically, it's like this. If you're going to hit it, have her face the wall, and she's going to breathe that way and not on you, and you don't get it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's just...
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, you might want to put that in your
Write
tablet.
it down, people.
Yo, shout out to Black Culture Radio. They are in the chat right now talking. Boy, but we got some jams for y'all this morning like we always do. So I'm going to start playing a few of them. Y'all keep it locked. Turn them radios up. You're listening to HL and AM Aug 93.5. Yo, and we're back. And that was Bone Thugs and Harmony, Look Into My Eyes. Trivia question. What movie was that from?
That was from Boys in the Hood 7.
Wrong. That was Boys in the Hood 7.
I figured all of the movies.
No, but that's a. Who would be in Boys in the Hood 7?
Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson would be in there. Yeah.
All right. Who would like? I'm thinking DC Young Fly maybe. Mm-hmm. DC Chico and Carlos.
Oh, you got to put them in.
Yeah.
You got to put them in. I think by now Tyrese would be like the older.
The dad.
The dad. Yeah, somebody like that. Who else?
Oh, shout out to Joe from Fayetteville who got it. Batman and Robin. Yes, that was the movie.
Oh yeah! Oh wow! I forgot this movie. That song was in there.
Yeah. That's when I first heard it. Like I'm one of those that I didn't listen to the radio much. It was always just songs I would buy out the store. Mm-hmm. But like the thing was, the songs that I would buy from the store, I would see in movies. Like that's why to me the baddest R&B song of all time is Bad Man by R. Kelly. From the Shaft soundtrack.
Really?
Man, have you heard Bad Man by R. Kelly?
I haven't heard it in a while.
Man, that joint go hard. Like, especially as a grown man, that Bad Man really slaps. So that was a question.
I bet it does go hard as a grown man.
Yeah.
You could probably appreciate more R. Kelly as a grown man.
Nah, not really. Actually, I'm starting to realize how many times R. Kelly told us he was a pedophile piece of crap over the years.
Right. That's why it goes hard as a grown man. Yeah. It's better when you're a grown man listening with children. R. Kelly songs always hit harder.
I was like, yo, like think about some of the songs here. Seems Like You Ready.
Right. Seems Like You Ready. That's just terrible. Down Low.
If Mr. Big comes in and sees you in the Mr. Big was her daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what else was there? My mind is telling me no, but my body's telling me yes from Bump and Grind.
Right. Sex Me. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly was sick, man. And R. Kelly was dropping albums as a cry for help. Right.
We did not see that.
We weren't trained on it yet.
Nah, we didn't know about mental health back then in them days, man.
I remember being mad when I found out him and Aaliyah had been married for a hot minute. I just thought it was like, I was mad because I wanted to get with her.
Yeah, that's flashback. Grown men been taking our girls since high school.
Yep.
When we was in high school, it was always the baddest chicks, the ones that we wanted. Mm-hmm. Always had a boyfriend that was like 21 that would come pick her up from school in an Acura Legend.
Why are you here?
And they ride off into the sunset, go to Chili's and stuff. And I'm just like, I can't take you to Chili's. I can't take myself to Chili's.
Right.
I can't even take myself to McDonald's. I have to eat lunch for $1.25 in the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. But then you got these grown men buying them little Claire jewelry and stuff like that. I was just like, and that's the funny thing I think is, even though everything that R. Kelly did, he deserves to be canceled. The women that are canceling R. Kelly act like they ain't have a grown man boyfriend back in high school.
Right. This dude was 24 and you're 18, 17, 16.
Yeah. Like R. Kelly was man, but at the same time, Bad Man was one cold. I'm gonna play it. I don't care. Cancel me. But now there was a great question in the chat. And I asked you that question earlier. Let me just pull up the person that said it so they can get credit. Black Trump. I don't know.
Oh, hold on. Black Trump? I know Black Trump. That's my co-host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the Good Old Boys radio show. Shout out to Black Trump. What up?
He wants to know where Winthrop University is at.
Where is Winthrop University? Okay. Do I answer or
Yeah. You answer. It's
Rock Hill, South Carolina. You see the hat, Winthrop.
Yeah.
You see the shirt right here.
He repping his school.
Yeah, Rock Hill, South Carolina, like 15, 20 minutes from Charlotte, depending on how fast you drive.
So let me ask, I want to ask the listeners a question. If R. Kelly dropped 33 more chapters tomorrow, would you not listen to him?
I listen to all 33 because I need the material. I'd be writing jokes for days.
I'm just saying, like, cause Joseph, like, he gave us 33 chapters, yes. And I really believe if R. Kelly came out with a Trapped in the Closet chapters 34 through 77, we would watch every last one of those videos. Cause I ain't gonna cap, that Trapped in the Closet was genius.
Yeah, it was. It was
hands down genius.
It was. And the way he brought back the Isley Brothers' career, that was great.
Yeah, revitalized Ron Isley and everything. And
yeah.
I mean, it's like, if we can't have the same, because like the thing is, my personal opinion, if we're counseling R. Kelly, then that means we should be listening to Michael Jackson no more.
No, we should not. What happened to that? We should. He could have been canceled 30 years ago.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, why? Like, is it me, or is cancel culture very finicky as far as who they cancel?
It is.
And and I'm gonna tell you like this. And honestly, you can't cancel someone that's popular. You can say, I'm never going to listen to his music again. Like, if right now we found out Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak ran a sex trafficking camp, would you stop listening to Leave the Doors Open?
No, I would not. I would not. I would shake my head while I'm listening, but I'll still listen.
I was like, man, these dudes are sick. That's what we would do.
You know what's funny? Me and Black Trump, when we were in school together, we did a video project to some R. Kelly. We shot a video to the song Contagious by the Isley Brothers, which was written and produced by R. Kelly. And it was a PSA for wearing condoms and safe sex, because if you don't, you might be contagious. I think that's more relevant now more than ever, considering we're really about to wear masks during sex.
Yeah, I'm like, there's two songs that I think should be played at every COVID party. That song that you just mentioned, and Mask Off.
Mask. Oh yes.
I can't. I can't wait to have a jam session one day, and we just play Mask Off 38 times. The whole kickback is nothing but Mask Off being played on repeat, man.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, people are really tripping about these masks. Like, I mean, they are going to the school board like, how dare you make my children wear masks?
Yeah.
But they can't be vaccinated.
I've seen mass burning parties, and I actually tried to engage somebody on YouTube and somebody on Facebook yesterday about this. And what I've noticed is, because they were big Trump supporters. It was all over their Facebook page. And I don't even know them. They were just random people who commented on something that I put on YouTube. And it was a video of the officers who were defending the Capitol January 6th.
Oh, okay.
And, you saw their congressional testimony. They were crying and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And they were just throwing all types of stuff out like, these guys are plants, they're traitors, they're punks. And they kept trying to punk the officers as if they could do the officers' job. And I said, what happened to Blue Lives Matter? Because y'all have been riding for this real hard. And they were telling me that if you don't understand it, you're just stupid. So then they started talking about masks. And I said, what's wrong with wearing a mask? What's the problem with wearing a mask? Then they got into Biden. I said, what has Biden done that was so bad? And every time I try
I can really talk about Biden. I hate Biden.
But see, you can, right?
Yeah.
Everybody I talk to that's on this whole anti-mask tip can't really tell me why masks are bad. This is what the answer I get. Well, if you can't see by now, I'm not going to waste my breath explaining it to you. And I'm
gaslighting.
Right.
Typical gaslighting, yeah.
You lose a golden opportunity to maybe win somebody to your side. All I'm asking is that you just simply explain your point of view, and that's what I ever ask of people. And you'd be surprised how many people cannot answer the question of why.
Yeah, especially a Trump supporter. I'm like this, and this is how I look at it. Trump supporters, like, because it's not fashionable to say I'm racist or it's not hate his heritage, now it's I'm a Trump supporter. It's the same thing. It's a way for people to politely let you know how they really feel about you. However, and this is the thing, would you rather have a blatant racist or a closet racist?
I'd rather have blatant.
Right.
Right.
And that's how I feel about Trump. Like, Biden is no different than Trump as far as his mindset and his point of view and his ideals. The only difference is he just doesn't say it out loud. He covers it up. Because I remember, quite frankly, 1994, the crime bill of 1994 that was written by him. He was the first signature. Then you had Clinton backing it up, Hillary and Bill, and it gets through. And do you know how hard it was to sell crack after that?
I do. It was extremely hard.
It was so hard to sell crack after that.
Some of us had to get regular jobs at McDonald's.
And now look at it. I went to McDonald's. Guess what? They closed because they ain't had nobody to work there. And
Right.
I'm like this. You got to be a stupid mug to turn down $1,000 a week or $800 a week in unemployment to make $225 a week at McDonald's, working your butt off.
That's crazy.
And the thing is, what happened was, and this is they were talking about this on CNN yesterday. So many people use their that money, the unemployment money, to better themselves, to educate themselves, to find a trade, to find something to get higher earning jobs. So once the whole unemployment thing went down the window, you had more barbers, you had more CDL licensed drivers, you had all of this. So they're not going back to McDonald's to make $8 an hour.
Yeah.
So now...
Oh, they're hot about that too, because
Yeah.
they're posting signs up to say, we would be hiring more people if y'all weren't so lazy. I've seen a sign like that in front of a restaurant.
There's no one to hire. Nobody because let me tell you, when I was young, the people that worked at McDonald's were high school students. That like McDonald's becoming a career was never an option. Like when we were young, it was like you might have some adults that worked in the morning, but like we got out of school early to go to work, you know, and things along those lines, and you learned, you know, how to become, you know, how to work, how to enter the workforce.
Yeah.
But jobs like McDonald's and grocery stores and stuff like that, it's Foot Locker. I can't stand to see a grown ass man in Foot Locker. Dude, what? What went wrong in your life to the point where, like I remember, and that was the thing. Foot Locker was the king of jobs in high school.
Oh yes.
If you could get a job somewhere, let me get my reference. I would tell you how good of a job Foot Locker was. We had a dude just wear a referee shirt to the mall just to walk around and talk to girls. Yeah. Until someone blew a spot up talking about, you know, work for Foot Locker. That was funny to me.
You get that discount on shoes, man?
Man, yeah, but like these entry level positions, and I'm not trying to knock anyone for trying to feed their family. But honestly, if you can get a job at McDonald's, you can get a job at a factory. The difference between a job at McDonald's and a job at a factory is, number one, you get paid more, but they're gonna make you work. And I'm not saying work at a factory forever, but it's a good way to better your circumstances.
Right.
But I'm proud of all the people that took the unemployment, took the time off, and bettered themselves and put them in a better situation post-COVID.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that got real estate licenses last year, and they used the money as seed money to take the exam and get everything they needed to
Which is what unemployment is for. It's to help you to better yourself and to put yourself in a better position because you lost your job. I don't feel sorry for corporations like McDonald's and stuff like that because they're just being greedy. I went to go get yesterday I got a 10-piece nugget meal, right? Guess how much that joint cost?
How much?
$8.09 for some chicken nuggets.
$8.09 for a 10-piece?
For a 10-piece meal.
Man, their prices have gone
What?
up. That's crazy.
That is, man, ain't nobody paying. I almost wanted to take my car back, but you know, Black Pride, I'm like, I want them to think I'm poor, so here, take it. But I was more or less like, $8? Do I get some head with that?
I was caught in that position too. One time I went to the Polo outlet in Mebane, and I had to go ball out because their 50% off sale was here. And I was just snatching everything, throwing it into the bag. And I got up to the cash register, and she just kept scanning and scanning. And I saw the thing go to $600. and she wasn't even halfway through yet. And I started having to make a decision. I'm like, hold up.
Do I need to eat this week?
Right. But I was scared. I didn't want to, and she was cute too. I didn't want to tell her to take everything back because I was like, oh man, I'm going to look like a total loser if I have to take all of this stuff back. I don't want to look like a buster. So I had her ring the whole thing up, $1,300 worth of polo shirts.
Word? At 50% off?
At 50% off, because I snatched up that many. I had $1,300 worth of polo shirts, and the whole time I'm processing in my head, all right, what day can I sneak back in here
and get a refund
and return this stuff without her working?
I gotta give it to. I'm proud that you had $1,300 in your bank account.
Yeah,
I would have been like, this car about to get declined. Swipe. Nah, I'm broke. I remember, this is no joke. I remember this is before I moved to Raleigh. I was with my bank, United Bank, right? Mm-hmm. And I was closing out my account. And my account, and this is the thing, I hadn't taken money out or anything like that. But I had to close out my account because I wasn't going to be going all the way back to Goldsboro every time I needed to go to a bank. So I was like, just go ahead and close it out, open a new bank up here. So I'm up there, and I mean, the most beautiful woman I ever saw up until that point was the teller. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling her, I give her my information or whatever. She pulls up my account, and I'm thinking, if I ask this chick out and she sees that I have $14.12 in my bank account, it's gonna be ugly. But in my mind, I was asking that out, and I'm just thinking all the things that she would say. Like I was like, "You're so beautiful. I'd like to take you out." Like, where you gonna take me? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But it is bad. I don't know what it was, man. But I was just so ashamed.
You know what's bad that we're put in position as men to feel that way. What
No,
you ever
not.
ask yourself, what does a woman bring to the table in this situation besides vagina? Besides being beautiful enough for me to have sex with? And if we're honestly, a lot of the women that we have sex with are not even beautiful enough for us to have sex with. They just happen to have vaginas and pulses and be alive. That's it.
And they choose us. Because the thing is, man. So there are women that bring a lot to the table. It's only if they see you as high enough value to bring that to you. You see, the thing is, when we have been conditioned to embrace body positivity, we've been conditioned to look at people for what's inside and what have you. However, that same conditioning hasn't been applied to the opposite gender. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is women still desire fit men that are well established, that have things going on for themselves, and not really focus on how they are as a person until they first check off those boxes.
Yeah.
Right. So women, like there are women, like, I can't count. Oh girl, I'm dating now, Toya. She'll bring food. She'll bring the table. Shoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there are the bulk of women are much better than we try to perceive them. What happens is we have our fantasies of what we want in a woman. Mm-hmm. And typically the woman that you fantasize, that you say, oh my gosh, she is so attractive, I want to have her, there are also 150 other dudes in that same girl's inbox. What that does is it provides validation to toxic traits, like her toxic behaviors and things along those lines. So she never has to better herself. So in that case, no, she ain't bringing nothing to the table. And
you know whose fault that is?
Ours.
That's our fault.
It's our fault.
And I tell men that all the time.
We created that monster.
We did. And I tell women this too. I talk to women a lot about things they do to beautify themselves. Their hair, their nails,
fake
their eyelashes.
lashes. Oh my God, fake. Yo,
I'm tired of these church fans glued to the eyelids. I really am. We need to scale this back, ladies.
Yo.
Please. But I tell them, no man ever told you to do all that.
Nah.
You do this, and here's the funny thing. Women tell me, well, I don't care about a man. I do this for me, right? But you're trying to look beautiful, and you are a heterosexual, so you want a man. So while you tell yourself that you're not doing this for a man, you're really doing it to attract men, and all the while, the main reason you're doing it is because another woman told you this is how you attract men. So I just think that's kind of the irony of the situation is just funny to me.
I'd actually have to disagree with that. I think women do it for other women.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's not even. It has nothing to do with us at all. Women don't care about attracting men because all a woman has to do to attract a man is go outside. All a woman has to do to attract a man is post a picture on Facebook. It doesn't matter what her nails or her hair looks like. However, I think that women seek not only validation from men, but they seek validation from women, especially women that they feel is more beautiful than they are. I mean, it's a crazy that we have a battle of the genders when we should be all on the same team, you know. But at the same time, I really do think that women are bringing the bare minimum these days.
Yeah,
I mean, and I'm not saying all women, but there are a lot of women that do nothing but the bare minimum, and that's because what do they have to fear of losing by doing the bare minimum? When a woman values you, she'll do everything she can to keep you. If she doesn't value you, she's bringing the bare minimum. And I think what we have to do is be more, as guys, we have to be more selective in our vetting process. We have to go out and we have to look beyond the glimmer, the glamour, the big booties, the nice bodies, and get to know women on a more real level. And in doing that, it changes the game because the game's been changed. And we have to change that game back to a more manageable situation. I think it comes to the point where, number one, dudes need to respect women more because that's a problem that we have, as well as that we're not respecting them for their minds. We're only respecting them for their bodies. We're only trying to get in it, and we're not really trying to get to know them. I mean, there are so many different things that we could do better to change the mindset of the modern woman. We need to become better protectors and better providers. See,
are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, we are. The problem is like that women are becoming more successful than black men. And I'm not saying because there's still black men that are making a nice, income or whatever, but the average woman has 2-3 degrees already. It's easier for them to obtain those degrees and obtain the qualifications to get better jobs. But women are outballing us right now as a majority. And I think that's going to be one of the problems that we have. But y'all keep it locked. Message. I told you R. Kelly was warning.
I see.
Yo.
We should have taken heed of the warning.
Yes, we should have. Now, Black Trump.
He asked a powerful question.
He asked a really good question. And you know what? We can talk about this as well as all types of disclosure. It says, his question, if you're not in the Mixcloud chat, when is it appropriate to tell someone you're talking to that you have herpes? The first conversation, when feelings get involved, or after they experience symptoms?
After they experience it, okay.
Okay, you trying to die. That's what you trying to do.
Yeah,
you trying to get killed.
I gotta say it's before the first conversation. Yeah, because
before the first conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have experience with that. Somebody I used to deal with a while ago. She told me before, and I kept noticing. Every time it seems like we're about to get busy, right? Every time it seems like we're gonna have sex, she would stop and not let it happen.
Right.
And I was like, this is weird because I know you want it.
Right.
And it went on like that for a couple weeks. And then one day she finally told me, she said, I just want to let you know that I have herpes. And I was like,
you can respect that.
I respected it. I was angry, but at the same time, I respected the way she told me. And so I was conflicted because part of me wanted to punch her in the throat. And I was like, you know what? That's where I was coming from.
Because she wasted your time.
Yeah. And I felt like, oh, snap. Because we had done other things too. And you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, man, you put me in this position. But then I was like, I can't even get mad at her because she's so cool. And I got to respect the way that she told me before I dove all the way in.
Yeah.
So after I got my STD test, it came back negative and all of that. I felt a lot better about it.
Like for me, I would say just don't tell me when I'm horny. Because I might be like, you know what? Just put 2 condoms on the calendar today. Because you know how you horny, you rationalize crazy stuff in your brain. Like you'll go see a chick you never met before, go to her house and everything when you horny, and then go there and get set up to be robbed. I mean, disclosure is important, whatever it is. I think you should disclose before anything serious happens. That goes for trans women or trans men, because I mean that whole community they have a real issue with disclosure. STDs is the thing that needs to be disclosed. What else? Kids. I mean, a lot of things. That's why there's the importance of conversation.
Yeah.
And
if you have bed bugs in your home, let me know that ahead of time too.
I don't know if you was listening, but one time I was talking about the decline in bed bugs and the decline in squirters goes hand in hand. Have you noticed that?
The decline in squirters?
Yeah. Like I don't know if you noticed this, but back in the day, like I say about 3, 4, 5 years ago, around that period, boy, there was so many squirters out there.
Okay.
And that's when the bed bug epidemic took heed. And the reason being is because squirting is pee.
Yeah. Oh.
And how do you get get bed bugs? You pee in the bed. That's how you get bed bugs.
Wow. Okay. I did not even think about that.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden these squirters are just all but disappeared, and so has the bed bug epidemic.
Wow. You know that's a hot debate too. Is it really pee?
Yeah,
or
it is pee.
Not?
What I saw a study done. What they do is they take an ultrasound of a woman's bladder. She goes and she has sexual activity.
Yeah.
Then she ejaculates, whatever they call it. And they take an ultrasound of her bladder after. And the bladder is empty or half empty. So there's pee in it. There's pee. There's pee.
Yeah, I read a study that said it does have the same composition as urine. Yeah, but you know, I would say at the street level, if I tell a woman, hey, listen, and this is another thing I don't like. A woman gets to tell me, hey, you know what? There's X amount of things you cannot do. You can't do this. Don't do this. Pull out. Do whatever. Right. But I can't just give a woman a list back and say, "Hey, this is a list of things you can't do." One being, don't squirt on me because it's pee. Because once again, we put back in that situation of, oh my God, how dare you come at me like that? You're not gonna get any.
Only a woman that doesn't value you would react that way when you set boundaries. And if you set boundaries and a woman that doesn't value you acts that way, you just need to dismiss her and go and get you another one. See, the problem is we're conditioned to think of everything as being a failure. And we forget that we also have minds. It's always like you lose a woman, but women never lose a man. You see what I'm saying? So it's more or less like if you're talking to a woman and you're like, yo, don't squirt on me, and she has the audacity to be like, ooh, how dare you, whatever, then that's a woman that never held you to a high enough esteem to respect you in the first place. So as soon as you step out of her little boundary box, she's gonna dismiss you with the quicks anyway. So it's your turn to get out fast, because it ain't gonna do nothing but lead to nothing but heartache and misery for you as long as you're dealing with that woman.
Okay, yeah, I can respect that.
So that's the thing about it, is set up boundaries and see if they respect them. If they respect your no matter how ridiculous it is, because we respect the most ridiculous stuff out of women. Yeah. But the thing is, it's just like that. And I think that's what we've become so accustomed to chasing and building our case and convincing. And at 38 years old, I'm to the age now where I'm like, I understand certain things. If you have to convince a woman to give you a shot, it's not going to work out anyway. There's a thing called natural attraction. There are women that want you just for you being you. Like, they probably seeing you right now like, oh, I want that dude. But sometimes those women are not what we deem attractive. So we dismiss those. And then we go after the ones that we think are cute. And then the ones that we think are cute, we're chasing them, building up our case. And the whole time you're building up your case, what you're actually doing is you're building this pedestal. And you're putting them on this pedestal. And you're building that pedestal up so high that they can't even see your value because they're looking down upon you.
You know what? You're exactly right. And that's what a lot of men suffer from. And I'm glad I broke free of that mold. I have broken out of the matrix. You want to know how I did it?
Unplugged.
I stopped caring if I get the draws.
Yeah.
So as soon as you stop caring, you are free to be yourself and tell the truth. I never lie to women.
Pimp knowledge number 1. Never try to get the draws.
Right.
Never try at all. Don't ever try to get the draws. They'll throw them at you.
Right.
If you don't try to get the draws, oh man, it's like there have been times where you would go out, or I would go out with a chick and not try anything, and it messes her head up. Next thing you know, she's throwing the draws at you. Right. So don't ever try to get the draws.
No, because that's all because we got to bring so much to the table as is, and when we continue to push so hard to get it, then we're just reinforcing that whole idea that the man has to work to get this, and the woman doesn't have to bring anything to the table except for just looking good. You know, I realized that men are motivated by two things. We're motivated by the fear of what a woman is going to do based on what we say or do, or the fear. No, I'll say that wrong. We're motivated by fear and hope. The fear of what she's going to do based on what we say and do, or the hope that one day, maybe one day, if we play our cards right, she'll give us something.
And that's how you end up in the friend zone. That hope. That hope will have you running up, picking her up from work, watching her kids while she go on a date with another dude.
Doing
all kinds
stupid
of
stuff.
All kinds of, because you thinking as soon as they mess up, I'll get my, and you're never going to get your shot. You're up there just wasting your time, giving her access to your resources, but what are you getting in return? Because the thing is, I got my homeboys. I have friends. You know what I mean? I don't need a fee. Like I'm not going to go get on a dating app to make a friend.
No.
You know what I mean? But for some reason, that's what they are. That's what I got some people upset in the chat.
What are they saying? Am I making somebody mad?
I don't know if you are or if I am. Who's pissing somebody off? But,
it's probably me because it's not the first time. I'm prepared for this. I want all the smoke. Well, please bring it this way.
She said I'm over here twitching. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, I bet. Yes, please. If you have a problem, please, baby girl, let us know.
Shout out to you, Aisha, and Latoya. They I don't think they feel it out, but these are our points of view, and this is the thing, and I hope that the women can actually understand that. You have to understand men. It's not all about men understanding women. There's two sides of the coin, and the thing is, our feelings, our wants, and our needs are not up for debate no more than your feelings and your needs are up for debate.
Preach.
However, it seems like whenever a man talks about his feelings and what he thinks about stuff, all of a sudden it's a debate. It's a conversation that you have to have because I feel a certain way or I look at things a certain way. However, whenever you're dealing with a woman and she tells you how she feels and how she sees the world, she expects you to understand and value her opinions. And that's all we're asking. Please value our opinions.
You know what I've noticed? I don't lie to women, right?
I do.
And I simply say I don't.
I'll lie to a chick right now, baby. You so beautiful.
I refuse. And the reason why is because when we continue to lie, we're building this idea that they don't have to bring anything to the table. So whenever a woman asks me, I had a woman say, "Do you miss me?" And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I could lie and say yes because that's what you want to hear, right? But then when I do that, it's almost like Patrice O'Neal spoke about this a couple times. He said, "You are now subjugating me." So when a woman asks me if I miss her, I will tell her the truth.
It's a setup.
No. I say no. And you know what happens? They get mad. And I say, why are you mad? Because if you ask me a yes or no question, you should be ready to deal with the no as well as you can deal with the yes.
Right.
And if you disagree, then you're selfish. But they can't deal with this. They can't deal with this question of me asking them why. Why do you feel that way? Why are you upset? Why are you doing this?
Well, that because there comes to the scariest word in a female's vocabulary.
What's that?
Accountability.
Accountability.
Man.
I just ask for balance. We got to be accountable for everything all the time. Why can't women be just as accountable?
Well, women don't have to be accountable. Unfortunately, that's the world that we created for them, to the point where they can do whatever they want to and don't answer to nothing. Because if you don't like it, you can leave. And that's how they look at it. If you don't like it, then just go. And then when you go, you're not SHIT. You're not a good person. And then all they got to do is tell the next dude that ends in their inbox. So there's a whole, I don't know if you see the woman's inbox, but there is a lot of brothers in there.
Yeah.
And all she has to do is just put a sexy picture on Facebook, let the inbox start popping, and let a bunch of other dudes validate her side of things and criminalize you,
here's where we mess up. Even if you leave, you still win. The reason why we're afraid to tell the truth and leave is because we're afraid of getting a case of the DPs, the dry penis.
Yeah.
So, and we're scared that we're not going to get that, right? But if you leave righteously, this is what I've learned that works with a lot of women that get upset with me or women that I've dealt with, being indifferent. So a lot of times a woman will come at me with emotion, right? Because see, they don't have much beyond emotion. Once they get through 2 or 3 levels of emotion, they tap out. And they come at me with anger or whatever they come at me with, and I'm just completely indifferent. Oh, well, you don't like it, you can leave. Leave. Okay. I hit him with that one word. That's a man's powerful weapon right there. Fellas, write it down. It's the letter K. When they start texting you this wild and crazy stuff, text them back nothing but the letter K.
You ain't got to do that no more. I got an iPhone. I just hit real hard and hit the like button. With that thumbs up. Oh, you want to make a woman mad? Thumbs up a paragraph.
Right. Yes.
Lock your door. After you do it.
Yes.
But go ahead,
right.
thumbs up that paragraph. And Aisha, I don't care what you say. Now, I know your inbox ain't dry. You can say what you want to. Screenshot your inbox, send it to
Aisha's flexing on somebody else's inbox?
Man, nah, she's already, nope, my inbox dry. I refuse to believe there is. Now, it might be dry of qualified people in your inbox, but it daggone show ain't dry.
Fellas, you will never lose a woman being indifferent.
Yes, you will.
Being indifferent?
Yeah, you can lose a woman.
But you got to be prepared to take that.
You can lose a good woman being indifferent. You could like this is what I mean. A woman that's really into you, that's trying, that's doing everything that she really feels it takes to earn a man. And if you're just being an asshole basically by being indifferent the whole time, and all of her advances because women can't handle rejection very well.
No, they can't. They're not built for that.
And indifference sometimes comes across as rejection.
Okay.
So if you're constantly being indifferent and she's putting forth effort and she feels that effort is not being met or reciprocated, oh yeah, she's out. On to the next one.
Okay.
It might be harder for her to leave because she might be addicted.
Right.
But like at the end of the day, like you can lose a woman being indifferent. The only way you can never lose a woman is by chasing money.
Chasing money?
Chasing money. Yeah. Being busy, like you don't have to be indifferent, but you could always be like, "Hey, baby, I'm working right now. I can't talk about this right now, but we'll chop it up later," and just never get back to that conversation. There's things that you can do to help your case, but at the end of the day, like you said though, like she's coming at you with all that BS, stupid stuff, and then my thing is, I don't think this is gonna work out, and that's where I leave it at. I'm like this: if you have nothing but a bunch of complaints about me, then just ain't gonna work out. Cause
that's indifference.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel you on the indifference, just the whole K thing. Yeah, that'll make a woman dry up and leave quick.
Yeah, but it has to be done righteously. It's got to be done righteously. I can't just get mad. I can't, every time a woman does something, I'm just gonna be indifferent for the sake of being indifferent. It's that when a woman does something to me that's illogical or says something that's illogical and I'm getting a tsunami of illogical emotion, then she threatens to. This is where it is. When a woman threatens to use her female parts against me, that's when I become indifferent. You're not going to get any more of this. I'm going to go talk to the next. Okay.
Bye. Yeah, now I am so with you on that. Because they try to manipulate you with the hoo-ha.
Right. And see, I have taken myself out of that rat race for the sex, and I don't care anymore if I don't get it, and that has actually caused more to come my way.
Yeah, because I will tell you like this: I cannot be manipulated with sex. You can't. I will watch some Pornhub as soon as you walk out the door. I don't care. And the thing is, you don't want to flex your options in front of a woman. That's one quick way to lose her.
Right.
But dudes have options too. It's not like women are the only ones with options. They're just the ones who flex their options.
Yes. Plus, our sex toy is free.
Yeah.
No more than $250 if you get the decent lotion. I recommend baby oil. It has the right thing you're looking for.
Oh yeah. So Ashley says, "I respect your opinions. You're basing the conversation on your experience. I'm not upset because that's not how I operate. But the same way men don't like to be generalized, neither do women."
Tell Ashley, I'm basing this on everybody. I have the authority to speak for all men because
except for me,
except for HL.
I got my own voice.
I'm basing this on Ashley, her friends, and her mother, sister, auntie, grandma, everybody. Why? Because I'm old enough to do it, and I've seen a lot, and I observed.
Don't do it, Miss Seeley.
I'll go out there. I'm basing it on everybody. I'm generalizing because it's true.
It's not. I mean, that's the thing. It is a generalization because all women aren't the same.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are, but there are a few exceptions. Not many, but like there's that one really beautiful light-skinned chick that got a fat dude at home. I mean, you ain't gonna see it because they probably live in like Michigan or something. But like, so there are exceptions to the major rules.
That's true. Women look for that.
Yeah, and the thing is, but what he ain't lying. It ain't like the dude's lying. I mean, he is coming up with certain things I can't agree with. Some things I'm like,
You know what? Somebody told me something a long time ago. The Mario Washington. He's a my co-host, right, told me years ago.
See, it's popping off.
Years ago, the Mario Washington told me years ago. He said something to me that changed my life, my whole perception of this game. Right?
What did he say?
He said, "Every girl is a B word until she proves otherwise." Changed my whole life.
Whoa!
Suddenly, things made sense. I said, "Really?" And he said, "Why? Because when you view it like this, you stop giving them credit for stuff they haven't earned, and you won't get played anymore." That's the mentality that I've had for ever since then, and I recommend this to every younger guy that I mentor. If you take that approach, I guarantee you will not get set up for the okie doke. And I'm not saying you have to. I'll just be righteous with it. I'm not saying be mean with it.
So how do you approach a woman like that you're interested in? If you have that mentality?
How?
Yeah, like for example, if all women are B's, right?
Until they prove otherwise.
Right. So the thing is, if you're walking down the street, you see a woman that's a B, right? How do you approach her knowing that you in your mindset she's already a B? Like, what value are you going to get with that interaction if you automatically assume every woman is a B?
It's a protection. It's a protection for my mental state of mind. And it keeps me from overexerting myself and playing myself. Because see, I'll approach her the same way I approach every other woman. Now, the B in this case is not malicious. I'm not doing it. I'm coming from a righteous place with this. See?
All right. So let's try to rephrase that. Maybe you're saying that women are like all women don't want you. Like, can we go that? Like, we act like just women are maybe even. Like, in your mind, look at women as just unapproachable type? Like, you just don't want to approach them? Or?
No, I'm not afraid to approach anybody. It's just, they going crazy in the chat? Yeah. See, and the views expressed by me are totally only of me
of
right
him.
now.
Yo, because like, y'all know I'm a fool, but I don't go that far.
Please don't come down on HL. But no, I mean what I say. It's the B word. In all essence of the word, right? And because I'm coming from a righteous place, I'm not doing it to be mean. But here's what it is. It's like if you go outside in New York City. My parents taught me when I was a kid, when you go up top, don't go looking up at the tall buildings because you make yourself look like a mark, right? So you got to walk outside covered. You got to have a protection. That's that New York mind state. When you get outside, you got to be looking at on your left and on your right. If you walk through the middle of Fallujah in Iraq right now, you got to be on guard, right? So this mentality helps me stay on guard, and it helps me to not exert too much of myself and give this woman total power over me because I'm so caught up in the fact that she's beautiful. We're always taught from the time we're boys, acquiesce to girls. My mother told me never hit a girl. Don't hit a girl. And that made no sense to me. It made no sense because I went to school with some gangster girls, right? And I'm telling you, first day of school in the 9th grade, I saw this girl and her crew roll up on this dude. She kicked him dead in his crotch, dropped like a sack of potatoes, and they ran his pockets. And I went back home and I told my mom, I said, "Mom, you telling me that I can't hit this girl who's a bigger thug than me?" That made no sense to me because I'm a fan of balance.
All right, I'm like this. You shouldn't attack a girl, but I do believe that if she catches you with a good lick, you should be able to hit her back. I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Yo, I'm joking.
But we're taught we gotta acquiesce.
We have to because we were taught from people who didn't know any better. We were taught from people who lived a different life that we live. We don't like my mom when she was younger. Women didn't have the opportunities that they have now, so women were looked at as weaker at that time. They were looked at as more delicate at that time. But at the same time, now women can run Fortune 500 companies. Women can do everything in the bounds of like rights and liberties that men can do. So it's kind of like now they're more assertive and more, and stronger, but physically and only physically, and not all, because you got them weightlifting bodybuilding chicks, that were just in the Olympics. There was a girl that threw a shot put, but for the most part, a man is more physically strong. and capable. Like, for example, even if you take a weightlifting woman that's been training her life and a weightlifting man that's been training his life, he's going to be stronger than her.
Right.
So we shouldn't abuse, we shouldn't use that force against women knowing that they can't properly defend themselves. That's being a bully. That's why they say don't hit girls, because girls don't have the opportunity or the capability. But like, this is the thing: if I went off and swung on a chick and she pulls out a gun and blows my head off, she was right in that situation.
Absolutely.
So like, that's the thing why they say don't hit women. It's only because it's not fair. However, they don't teach women to not emotionally abuse men, because that's not fair, because men can't defend themselves against a woman that comes at them all disrespectful. So there's like what I like to believe in, there's equity. Like, not equality. I don't believe in equality, but I believe in equity, which basically means that there are certain things women can do that we can't, and there are certain things that we can do that women can't, but it creates a whole circle. Like, we have half, they have half. Like, when it comes to an argument, the only person that can beat a woman in an argument is a gay man.
Right.
Ain't nobody beating no gay man in no argument. Because he has the emotion, logic thing. I don't know what happens with her, but they got it. But when it comes to women, on the other hand, like, nah, I just don't believe. Like, I guess because I grew up with sisters, and if I couldn't hit my sisters growing up, then any woman walking the face of this planet is safe from me, because I can't. If they got away, then of course I can deal with anything. But so the whole not hitting women thing, I'm cool with that one generalized statement. I don't hit women.
I'm not cool with the statement. I'm cool with the spirit of that statement, but I'm not cool with the letter of it. I'm cool with the idea that, look, dude, don't go over there beating up women. Don't go over there beating up girls. But sometimes I think, like I said earlier, we swing the pendulum so far that we miss the big picture. I'm not cool with the idea that you can't hit this person because it's a woman. I got some
questions for you.
I mean, I'm cool with the idea of defend yourself.
All right, so the chat is blowing up. So
I bet it is.
I think they have some questions, and I'm going to read them off to you. So first is from Ashley Preston. That's one of my homies. She's a comedian as well. She says, why do women get crap? I can't use that word, Ashley. But why do women get crap for having up the same barriers? And what they mean by that is how when you see women and you be like, oh, that's automatically a bitch. How come women get crap when they look at dudes and be like, oh, men ain't nothing? You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Men
here's
ain't
why.
crap.
You think this idea that I have that every woman is a B until she proves otherwise is something that I just came up with out of the blue?
No, you said Mario told you about
the Mario Washington of the Good Old Boys radio show. He taught me this. We were in the cafeteria, Winthrop University, in the caf, right? This is not something that was just created just for the sake of let's come up with something cool. This was a learned behavior because of the abuse that came from women. So this was a way to defend ourselves from that abuse.
So let me ask you a question. Generally speaking, I know you probably can't say a pinpoint exact number. How many exact women would you say abused you over this time? Because like another question was who hurt you. So how many women would you say you encountered before you took up this mindset?
A lot. And I think
but yeah, like how many? Hundreds?
I don't know about hundreds. I know I got a couple off the top of my head. I don't want to say their names because, you know, they're still doing their thing. They married with lives. But I'm going to say, I'm going to estimate, I'd estimate like somewhere between 15, somewhere between 10 and 15.
10 and 15 women.
10 to 15.
Out of 3.82 billion women, you have a straw sampling of 15 women.
But here's why. Because that's just me. And each of those women is representing, they learned, that's a learned behavior they got from somewhere, right? They're representatives of all women. And then I take into consideration what I get from other men, what I observe other men going through, what other men tell me. And like I said, this was just developed as a protection for men. So if Ashley feels like she gets crap for saying men are dogs, then that's fine. That's a generalization. I completely understand why you would get crap for that, and I completely understand why you don't like that crap that you get for it, but I also completely understand why you have adapted to that as a protection for yourself.
So you feel like she's right in her approach to men as well?
Absolutely. Because if that's what she needs to keep herself protected, I completely understand it. Now, just like I understand that, she should understand the idea of a man saying all women are B until they prove otherwise, even though she doesn't have to like it. Just like I don't have to like that she looks at me and says, oh, you're a dog. I understand where that came from. It came from the behavior and the mistreatment that men place upon you and pretty much all the other women that you know. So we have to protect ourselves based on a collection of life experiences.
So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. What you're saying
in this particular case,
yeah. In this particular case,
only if the gander is legitimate.
Okay, so I understand that. So Latoya asked, "What is a man's definition of righteous?"
Righteous?
Yeah.
Well,
what is your definition of righteous?
My definition of righteous is you're coming from a place of it being honest. Mm-hmm. It's not malicious. It is not designed to it's not designed to subjugate anyone. It's coming from a place of pure honesty. That's what is righteousness to me.
Okay, all right. So
and no ulterior motive.
So my man's over here holding his own now, y'all.
No ulterior. Look, I'm not new to this. I mean, see, this is what they don't understand in the chat right now. You are already on step 5, but you're on step 5, but I'm already on step 15 with this. Yeah. So I've already had this discussion many times. I already got the angles worked out by how to approach this. Because I gotta be 15 steps ahead of Ashley, where she only has to work out her first 3 steps. Why? Because society has already put me behind the 8 ball by telling me I gotta acquiesce to her, and society is gonna give her the benefit of the doubt over me because I'm the man. So I gotta be 15 steps ahead of Ashley in order to even have a fair shot against her.
So when you say society tells you to acquiesce to women, right?
Yeah.
Do you find yourself ever? So does that make you? Does that mean now that you're more or less like a you don't acquiesce at all? Like you're just
no, I don't.
You don't.
My mother and my sister hate it, but I don't. I can't. I gotta call it like I see it. If you're stupid, I have to say you're stupid. You know, I was telling my mother when my mother was planning my sister's wedding. I was looking at all the money they were spending on invitations. I mean, the pre-invitations to get people ready for the real invitations to come later. The dining hall and all of that. And I said, why are we spending all of this money when we can just send an email? Just be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. And I said, hey, wait a minute. Isn't her husband part of this equation? Are you all giving any thought to what he can? This is what I was getting. Why? Because we're men and they were women. That's what it came down to, and that's when I told my mom, this is stupid. And then, what? This wedding is for the women, and you gotta care about, well, what about his feelings? What about my feelings? Why are we marginalized in the case of the wedding? And I've told this to women I work with, and they've all told me to shut up because the wedding is for the woman, right? Shut up because the wedding is for the woman. It's her day. Why? Why don't I get to say, you shut up, this basketball game is my day? I remember at work one time getting off the elevator. No, I got into the elevator. A woman got into the elevator with me. I'm going to lunch. You know what she said to me? She said, oh, where you going? And I said, here we go. I'm going to lunch. Where you going to eat? Going to this nice Mediterranean restaurant. Oh, I want to go. She invited herself into my lunch scenario. Why was I wary? Because I knew what would happen when we got to the restaurant. She's going to expect me to pay for her. So I got to the restaurant and I said, no, I'm not doing this. I got to be strong. I don't care if you're gorgeous. I got to be strong. Got to be righteous with this. I stand there at the cash register. We walk in while I'm placing my order first. And then she was behind me placing her order. You know what she did? Same thing I see a lot of women do. Old technique. Even if they don't want to say, well, I expect you to pay for it, she paused and waited because she knew that silence was awkward for me, because now I got to stand there and think, oh my God, this is awkward. Should I pay for it? Should I not? You know what I did? I caved in and paid for it. And she knew it was going to go down that way because that's what society is training her to think is possible.
And that's where I would have been like, no. See, because like I'm like you in a way. I don't acquiesce, right? I never use that word. I usually just say I don't pander. But it's the same thing. I don't, call space a spade. However, if she would have been with me and she ordered, she paying for herself, especially if there's no sort of friendship, relationship, companionship, none of that.
Well, it's a friendship, and we had gone out before, so I guess she was thinking, it was okay for her to do that.
Right. Oh, so y'all went on a date before?
Yeah. But I still don't like the fact that she
Did you ever hit it? Oh, you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was money well spent. Then,
course,
like it was invested into the pool. As long as you got something out the dick.
She said top shelf Patron. I'm like, what?
Oh, you see, right there, she would have been. Not see. Don't take my kindness for weakness. Because if I'm nice enough to pick up a tab, oh, you better go to the well. You better go to the bottom. But like. I don't know if you broke, just say that. I guess. Well, I don't care. But
and Ashley, everybody else, if you all have any thoughts, concerns, questions, comments, please hit up gobradionetwork.com. Use the contact tool. You can send all of your hate mail my way. Don't send it to HL. Send it to me of the Good Old Boys Radio Network. gobradionetwork.com and get at me.
I'm not worried about no hate mail because I'm not. Because, like, they know me. They know I'm already an asshole. They already know that. Yeah. They know where I stand. But, like, you making me look like...
Look,
you making me look real good right now.
You wonder why I have this mentality, right? I was on another dinner, right? I'm at home chilling. This woman called me. Are you hungry? I was like, yeah, I guess I can eat. Because I'm hungry, too. We should go out to dinner. And I was like, all right, cool. Ale House is open right now. I guess... Okay, I'll meet you there. So she initiated this dinner situation. We get to the ale house. Both of us order. She's ordering whatever she wants to order. My meal came out to $13 because I know what I like to eat there. The check comes in, right? This is what she looked at me with a straight face and said, "Do you think I should pay?" Now, me being me, I know where this is going. I said to myself, don't answer because this is a setup. I said, "What do you think?" I flipped it back on her, and she said, "I don't think I should pay." And then that's when, of course, I asked a very simple question that they can't deal with. Why? This is what she said to me with a straight face, grown woman in her 30s. She said, "Because I'm a girl." And I said, "What does that mean?" She said, "Because I'm a girl." And then that's when I realized a lot of women want to be women when it is convenient. But girls when it's more convenient. Because this is girls when it's time to accept responsibility for something. Because this is the same woman who's in a nightclub when Boozy comes on, INDEPENDEVENT. Do you know what that means? I'm like, hold up. You screaming about being an independent woman, but when the check comes, suddenly you're a girl that has to have someone take care of her. So you want to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to be a woman when it's time to take credit.
Okay.
But you want to be a girl when it's time to take responsibility.
I'm not saying nothing, women, but he ain't lying. No lies detected yet. Keep going. I'm loving this. Because, like, oh, man, you don't understand how much stuff I do. All right, go ahead.
Now, see, but this is where I'm coming from. And this is why I had to fall back on what D. Mario Washington said.
Homeboy said you preaching today.
Had to fall back. My man said, look, never forget, every girl is a B until she proves otherwise. And I said, what about your girlfriend, who is now his wife and the mother of his child? He said, well, she's proven otherwise. And I said, exactly. Thank you. Because it can work. This is a protection for the man's mind and his pockets.
Oh, man. I just lived I would say with me, let's see. Because, like, I'm difficult, but I'm difficult for a reason. I guess I look at it slightly the same way y'all do. I just use different wording, if that makes any sense. Like, for example, I do the whole, like, I don't give anything easy. Like the chick that I'm talking to now, the woman I'm dating and even really, in a relationship with, she had to earn me. She had to earn me. And being a big dude that society tells you is unattractive, you feel like you cannot set boundaries because they're easy just to walk away and get someone else. You feel like, what I'm saying, there's a whole lot of stuff, insecurities that you would have as, as being a big brother, especially in the dating world. And I had to overcome that. And I mean, it took me about a year of testing and failing and trying and failing to find out what works for me, but how I can still look myself in the mirror. You know what I mean? And respect myself. And when I got to that, I started dating, started doing stuff. I put my boundaries out. And Like, just like, you know, I would expect, oh yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Oh yeah, I'm gone. But all they did was really clear out the path for me to find the right one. And the right one is willing to do, like, the right one is willing to look at you and be like, oh, I see value in you. And that's what I'm saying. If you have a woman that sees value in you, she's gonna bring everything to the table. She's gonna bring everything to the table. Now the other ones, they ain't bringing nothing. They're bringing some vagina, and that's a regift. She probably give you the same stuff she gave a dude yesterday.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? It's the same stuff. So what you got to do is you just can't settle. You like the number one thing dudes do is we settle. And dudes, you got to get out the settling mindset. You got to really just like you got to put it out there, because like the worst that can happen is she just bounces and you feel like you lost. You feel like, oh my God, you know, that's the thing that, man, you got to get out of that fear of.
You got to be prepared to take that L.
You got to.
If you stand upon your righteousness, accept the L if it comes.
And it might not come. But I'm going to tell you like this. If you don't stand up for yourself, you're going to take an L eventually.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be way worse.
And you're going to be broke.
And you're going to get stripped of all of your resources. Yeah. Not just broke. I mean, you might, oh, man. Like it's for me, it's not even the money for me. It's the peace of mind.
Yes.
Like have that peace of mind. But the thing is, like I said, we're supposed to be the hunters. So we have to do the chasing.
Right.
And it's kind of like a hypocrisy to chase something down and then like, hey, would you like to go out? Would you like to get to know me? Would you like to get to know me and all this other stuff? Would you like to go out and me wine and dine and all this stuff? And then I'm like, wait a second. I caught you now. Now let me put these boundaries in here. And they're going to look at you like you're stupid. Like, yo, you chased me down.
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, if you do it the right way, like you said, I guess righteously in your terminology, it's going to work out or it's not. But like he said, you can't be scared to take them L's. I've taken some L's, bruh. But I've also got some dubs. And the dubs that I've gotten outweigh the L's any day. And before I changed my mindset to similar to how your mindset is, I was taking nothing but L's. No dubs. They're talking about divorced, all kinds of stuff, because I was messing up. And you just like so that's why I said when you was talking, like, ain't no lies. I ain't hear the brother lie. like the stuff it has value. But man, at the end of the day, man, dating is finicky.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's the world that we create. Well, that we didn't create this world, but we have to live in it.
Right.
And women in general, just like men in general, are good-natured and good people. But you got to weed out the ones. And the easiest way to weed them out is I ain't gonna lie, like I refuse to even try to date a chick that I have to actively chase. If I have to if I have to put in a whole lot of work, ain't no point, because that's when it goes to the whole pedestal joint. So I definitely respect it. But dang, man, it's already almost time for us to go.
It's about that time.
It's about that time, man. Did we even play music this
I don't think we did, man.
I don't think we played music. It was a great conversation.
I had to defend myself. Ashley was coming for me.
Oh, not just Ashley.
But that's all right. I love you, Ashley. I love you, Boo Boo. All of you in the chat. I love each and every one of you. I'm only here to give you options, different ways to think.
And also maybe you actually see how men think for a little bit, because we grew up in a time where all we were pushed was the female narrative, the Waiting to Exhales and the men hater songs and the Lifetime movies. That's all we saw, but you never saw man's perspective of anything.
Yes.
And then when men actually do share their perspective, we always have to defend our perspective.
Yes.
Why is that? Right.
And I want to say this too. I was just kidding about all of that stuff. Ladies, I still want to get some booty after the show. So if you want to hit me up, it's like I'm just playing.
Oh yeah, you ain't getting nothing out of this chat. I mean,
nah,
respectfully, ain't none of them turning that booty up for you.
I ain't scared. I'm scared. That's what I'm here for. I gotta tell it like it is. The male narrative. I'll take the ride for the rest of the fellas out there.
Yeah, he took some licks, but he actually at least I hope he enlightened some of y'all.
Yeah.
So my question is to the people in the chat: do y'all want to see him next Monday?
Let us know.
Let us know. Let me know.
Yes.
Get at his inbox. Ask him to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed having him here. I'm not even gonna cap you.
Yeah. Give me your questions and your comments, and I'll address them if I'm invited back. You can find me on Instagram at Wafeeq Zarif. I gotta spell that because I know it's different. At WAF as in Frank, E as elephant, E as elephant, Q, Z as zebra, ARIF as Frank. Hit me up on Instagram with all your questions, comments. You can check me out on GOBRadionetwork.com, part of the Good Old Boys radio show. Hit us up. Let me know what you want.
All right. Oh, well, so we got some cats that want to come in and I guess have a conversation.
Oh, let me give them the YouTube too. I almost
go ahead,
forgot.
give them your YouTube.
Hit up my YouTube show, Wafeeq Zarif Unleashed. Look that up on YouTube, Wafeeq Zarif Unleashed. It's part of GOB Radio Network TV. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Watch my stuff, Wafeeq Zarif Unleashed, on YouTube every Saturday at 9 a.m. The video will just stay there for you to watch anytime.
Word. Hey, yo, I think they want you back, man, because I got some women that want to talk to you and I guess have a spirited debate, and I just want to witness it.
Oh, yes. So please let me know if Ashley's coming to the studio so I can strap up first.
Ashley, you want to come in next Monday? You and Wafeeq can come down here and sit down and chat it up, because Aisha talking about coming on Labor Day. If she coming on Labor Day, that's a Monday, right? Yeah, it's a Monday.
Yeah.
Yo, so I'm gonna have you back. If you can come back next week, I appreciate it.
Okay, I got you.
You'll be back.
I'll be here.
All right, Ashley, if you can be here, bring you behind. I want to see this. All right, Ashley.
I love you, ladies.
6:45 a.m. But I'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'll be listening tomorrow.
Appreciate that. And I thank everybody for listening in. Y'all have a productive, beautiful day. Be well, and I'm out.